Hey y'all, what's up? This is Jocasta Lester. Dealt with something recently, want to tell you about it, okay? Prior to me driving this car by myself or whatever, it was my mother's. It wasn't quite my mother. My brother gave it to both my mother and I. For what reason, I could never understand why anybody gives two people a car, okay? But anyway, FYI, beast trick. So, but check this out. What was going on before my mother left the car, got her own. Her car, as you know, it was broken into. So now she's driving this car again. Well, just before she started to drive this car, I started to have issues with the tires deflating. They just started going flat again. So this was something that was happening just before she got out of the car the first time. In other words, around this time, around the winter, we were putting air in the tires every day nearly. Okay. So I'm going to tell you something. This car is now back to that thing just before my mother came back into this car. So I'm going to tell you something about things making themselves ready for particular people to show up in your life. I'm telling you, sometimes your cars even behave differently on the basis of somebody showing up in your life. I'm telling you, I'll tell you what happened to me just before I moved from California to my sister's house. She had some type of spill in her house. There was a spill all over her house, and there was something where she had to get all of the flooring replaced in her house. When I came, her baseboards were left unreplaced, but all of her floors were new. And I cleaned, and while I was there, I mopped her floors, all that. Okay. So basically, of course, in other words, I cleaned her house while I was there, but she didn't have to. And I watched her children. But all of that to say this, okay? There are things that make themselves ready just before you show up to a place. Sometimes, depending on some places that you show up to, they'll dirty it up just before you show up. It's places and people that do things just before you come. So that when you find out the most accurate arrival, okay, is when you haven't shown up to a place yet and you just show up there. Everything else is just story time because they're up on it now, okay? But just know this, places and things make themselves ready for your arrival. Know it. So have a blessed and marvelous day and repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. If you want to find a problem in your situation, like what has bad energy or what bad energy is following a person, isolate each person that arrives and pay attention to what happened before they show up. Blessings. Clean up, in other words, get it back to good condition. Clean it up real good, fix everything, and then bring one at a time. So have a blessed day, y'all. And thank you for watching my videos. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand, and take care.